Yo, it's October 5th. The Critical Sports Theory podcast is back in effect. Adam, what's good?
Go Sox tonight, baby.
Fuck you. You said in the last podcast the Sox were gonna beat the Yankees. They're up 3-0. You white trash piece of shit. You go move to fucking Boston, you cocksucker. This is preposterous. It's blasphemy.
Listen, man, I just had to, I looked at, I've been watching the teams this year, and it's like, the Yankees, man, they just can't score sometimes. Like, they hit home runs, but they just don't, they don't move runners. They don't, I know Garrett Cole was pitching tonight. That was the one thing I thought they had the advantage with Cole.
Garrett Cole's getting abused right now.
Yeah, it's 3-0. It's still early. It's only the fourth inning. The Yankees are known for rallying, so...
Yeah, but they're in Boston. Yeah, it's not looking very good.
It's true. And Eovaldi looks good tonight. The ball's moving around crazy.
He's throwing some fucking crazy stuff, bro.
Yeah, he looks good tonight. My boy Schwarber just hit a home run.
Schwarber!
So, yeah, Red Sox up 3-0. If they are to hold on, they'll play the Rays in the division series. That's a good series. The Rays, man. The Rays are that team, man. Their organization is like... what is it when you're developing new things? I can't think of the word right now.
I'm
when
lost.
You develop new things in the world. You are innovators.
Innovators.
They're
Yes,
an innovative team. They're the team that started the bullpen game, where your bullpen just starts the game and pitches the whole game. Yeah, they do that now.
Interesting.
Yeah, like they'll have start a game with not a starter, but a guy who pitches 2 innings.
When was the last time someone pitched a complete game? How many years has it been?
I know, right?
The game has changed so much with all the analytics and the shifting and all this shit.
The shift has killed the batting average in baseball.
Yeah, if you noticed that. No one, like the team batting averages, what are they looking like?
238 this year.
238. Like, what is that, dude? What has this game turned into?
Back in the early 90s, 90s, that was a bench player. That was a guy who wasn't a starter, 238. Now that's the major league average.
Now you got guys hitting 30 home runs in a season, and their average is like 187. Like, how the fuck does that add up?
How do you not get sent to the minors in the middle of that?
You get fired. You get red tag in your locker, son. Like, what's going on in the world of baseball?
I know.
But the playoff pitch is looking really good.
Yes,
it's very exciting stuff coming down the pipe, man.
Playoff picture is looking good. Red Sox are up 3-0 right now. We're watching, but, game's still on. I think it's the 4th or 5th inning. Tomorrow night, we have a good game. Cardinals, Dodgers, another classic matchup, kind of like this Yankees-Red Sox game. The Cardinals have been red hot at the end of the season. I think they won 19 out of 20 heading into the playoffs just to get the wild card spot. And then the Dodgers have had another team with an interesting season. Won the World Series last year. Been to the playoffs most of the last 4 or 5 years. Then they win 105 games this year. And they lose the division by 1 game to the Giants, who won 106.
Sorry.
So they got to play a 1-game playoff against the Cardinals, who are scorching hot. You think you win 105 games and you at least get a bye, or you get to, you got to play a 1-game playoff after all that and playing a team that's scorched earth hot right now, like the Cardinals. And the Dodgers will be without one of their best hitters, Max Muncy, who got hurt on Saturday. He's definitely going to be out for this game, so that's another tough blow. So, I mean, they do have, the Dodgers as a team that was, talented. They won the World Series. They added 2 really nice pieces at the trade deadline, picking up Mad Max Scherzer, the fucking former Nationals and Tigers stud ace pitcher. I mean, that guy's
What's his
stud.
name? What's his name again?
Max Scherzer.
Sounds like a communist.
It does.
Max Scherzer!
He sounded like he was part of Hitler's Third Reich, right? Max Scherzer.
Let me see your vaccination passport. Jesus. That's a real like rigid kind of last name.
It is
name
Max
there,
Scherzer. Max Scherzer.
It's definitely a ball player's name though.
But he's an absolutely monster pitcher. Great stuff. He's a little older now, but still I think in his 10 starts, since they got him from the Nationals, they've been 10-0 in his 10 starts, and I think he's like 8-0 with like a 1.40 ERA. He's been something ridiculous since he got to the Dodgers. They also picked Trey Turner in that trade. One of the best all-around players in baseball. Great fielder, great all-around hitter, steals bases. So they scooped him up, and he's not even old. He's like 29 years old. So Washington just got rid of him in that trade. So that helped the Dodgers out. They're going to need those two guys. As Scherzer will pitch the wild card game, and he's been outstanding since coming to the Dodgers, and he's going to pitch against the ageless one, Adam Wainwright, the lifetime Cardinal. The guy seems like it always seems like he's going to be, he's getting old, but he just keeps doing it. This year had one of his best seasons, 17-7, ERA 3.16. I mean, 40-year-old right-hander, never threw hard. Just the kind of a guy that gets guys out. One of those Cardinals pitchers. Like the Cardinals always have pitching. I don't know if you noticed that. They always have pitching somehow. Somehow, some way, the Cardinals always have pitching. The Cardinals are one of those organizations. They just develop players. They develop pitching. They find hitters, outfielders, infielders. They just flood the major leagues with guys from their farm system that make it. Special organization of Cardinals. I don't think I've remember the Cardinals being really bad ever. And I've been watching baseball, since 1985, my first year as a little kid.
Yeah, they were in the World Series that year against the Royals.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a great World Series, too. Like Game 7, controversy, or the whole thing.
That was that whole thing with, what the hell was that guy's name?
The umpire.
George Brett?
He was involved. George Brett, and they had the umpire, that bad call that went against the Cardinals. I think it was Game 6. But you remember those Cardinals teams, too. Remember the speed? Totally different from now baseball. They had Vince Coleman, Willie McGee.
Wow. Yeah.
Ozzie
Lot of speed.
Ozzie Smith, the Wizard of Oz, Tommy Herr.
Vince Coleman. That was my dog, bro.
Vince Coleman could steal a base with your foot. You picked your ass for a second, and he stole second already. Vince
that
Coleman.
Dude was like the Flash. I remember him.
That team was the total opposite of now baseball. Now it's home runs or bust. They got the shift on. You got guys hitting 220 with 23 homers. That's like the average guy. They don't really move runners around. They don't bunt. That team and the Cardinals, all they were doing was hitting and running, stealing, double stealing, bunting. Guys were trying to bunt for base hits.
Yeah.
They had Tommy Herr. Let me give everyone, all you baseball fans out there, a tidbit. The Cardinals had a guy on that team named Tommy Herr. Well, I don't think he's ever done before. Hit single-digit home runs, hit 8 homers, and drove in over 100 runs for them. Had 110 RBIs on only 8 home runs. That's how much doubles and triples. They were just a line drive hitting, running team that you don't see a team like that in baseball now. Not even close. The Rays are kind of like that, but they hit their home runs. But if you compare any team like the Rays, would be kind of like them. A lot of speed, running. And, the Rays are good. But, the Cardinals take on the Dodgers tomorrow night. And I feel like the Cardinals are just going to pull this game out tomorrow for some reason. That's what I just see that. I just see Wainwright, the longtime Cardinal. I think he's got that like, I'm a Cardinal, like I'm pulling through for my organization. He's like a Derek Jeter of the Yankees type. It's like that type of thing where he's just so Cardinal red blood that they're going to pull through. He's going to pull through, pitch good, and then the Cardinals will find a way to win the game. The Cardinals are that team, too. They got these young guys on the team, Hader and Edman and Tip O'Neill and all these new guys. They have Carlson. Have really jump-started that team. These guys have all been hitting well. And, they got the 2 guys, the 2 veterans that they've acquired in the last few years, the 2 studs, Nelson Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt, who's having a good bounce-back year for the Cards. So I just feel like the Cardinals are hot right now. They're healthy. And they'll go to L.A. and win a really good game tomorrow night and beat the Dodgers, is my prediction.
Interesting. Okay.
In that game.
All
and
right.
I see them moving on to playing an interesting series against those San Francisco Giants, who I think, they weren't expected to do well. But then when you think about it, when you step back and you look at that roster on San Francisco, they had the best record in baseball this year. They got some vets that can. Brandon Crawford still there. They still have those core guys from the World Series era: Brandon Belt, Buster Posey, Brandon Crawford. Those three core guys, still having them is where they're drawing the strength from this year. They added Evan Longoria, who's a longtime Ray. He's a good, he's still a good, really good player. A couple young guys on that team, Lamont Wade and a few other guys. They've picked up some pitchers like Gossman from the Orioles, who is having an electric year for them. So the Giants and the Cardinals would be an interesting series. That'd be actually a fun series. I like watching, the Giants ballpark. I think they still call it a Candlestick, whatever they call it.
Do they?
Yeah, with the water. Remember when Barry Bonds used
to
hit the home runs in the water?
It's still called Candlestick
No, it's
Park?
probably called something else now.
It's probably named after some corporation.
Yeah. Like they all are. But that's a fun stadium. I like watching games in San Francisco. It's got an aura to it.
Yeah, there's something about baseball out there in San Francisco that's special.
Yes. There's another. Oh, they picked up Chris Bryant from the Cubs, San Francisco too. That's a big move for them. So they have Chris Bryant. I think between the Cardinals and San Fran, I'm gonna go San Fran. And then just to let you know, I was telling Amp before the show. I know I picked the Brewers in my MLB playoff preview to go to represent the National League in the World Series, but I'm switching it back. I'm going with my team. I'm going with my two teams to be in the World Series, the Braves and the Stros. I'm going Astros, Braves. I can't go against my Braves. I know I love the Brewers and those three stud pitchers, Peralta, Burns, and Woodruff. But you know what? The Brewers really don't hit enough. The Braves got three good pitchers of their own, too. They're pitching really well. And I always like Charlie Morton with Max Fried and Ian Anderson. And I just think the Braves just hit better. They have a much better lineup. And I'm going with the Braves. I'm staying with my Braves, baby. Braves over the Brewers. The Stros will handle the White Sox in the AL. And I think in the League Championship Series matchups, I like Stros Rays again. Astros and the Rays like last year in a rematch.
Yeah, that would be a good series.
That would be a great series.
I would love to see that.
That would be a great series.
Let's hope that happens.
Yeah. And then in the NL, I'm going to say the Braves, and between the Giants and the Cardinals, and you know what? The Dodgers could beat the Cardinals. I mean, I'm just saying I like the Cardinals. Obviously, the Dodgers could win behind Scherzer. He's an amazing pitcher, so it's not like I'm not counting them out. But between those three teams, I think any one is a good matchup. I kind of just feeling this Cardinals-Giants vibe for some reason, somehow. Two classic organizations. And I would say between that series, I think the Giants eke one out over them. The Giants would eke it out and then be Braves-Giants. So the NL, I like Braves-Giants, and I like Astros-Rays in the AL. Two nice series right there.
Interesting. That kind of sounds accurate. That seems. I have a feeling that may be the case.
Who knows, man?
Yeah.
I mean, it would be pretty cool. Really, what I want is Braves-Astros. That's me. That's just those are the two teams I like. I just want to see that. Thought it was going to happen last year, and then the Braves and the Astros both fell short. Kind of killed me. I was really into the baseball playoffs last year. It was really good. And then even though my two teams didn't make it, and it was the Dodgers and the Rays, and that was a great series. That was fun baseball. The Rays are a pesky good little team, man.
I hate them.
I know. They've fucking been a Yankee in the thorn in the Yankee side the last
like
few
10 years. Like past 10 years, maybe even longer than that.
Since Joe Madden.
Yeah.
When Joe Madden took over that team, man, he started, new stuff. They would just run a lot. Then their bullpen games, pitching, and just he was also the guy who really started the shift. Also,
really?
Yeah. He was one of the first guys that was really running the shift. They're very innovative, the Rays, in their baseball maneuvering. So, they're a very good team. I got a lot of respect for the Rays, man. I remember when the Rays first started, bro. They were terrible for like their first 10 years. They were terrible.
When they first came into the league as an expansion team. Yeah,
nobody to go to that stadium either. It was dead in there, and they were just getting spanked. That team was terrible. The only once in a while they'd get Dickie V to go to a game because he lives in Tampa or something like that. And he'd go there and be like, he's awesome, baby. Come watch the Yankees in Tampa.
The weather's great all year round, baby. We got some people smoking meth in the upper decks. It's Florida.
Yeah, so... But baseball, people sleep. The baseball regular season, as we know, can be long, can be tedious, can be, those those August dog day games can be like, sleep, knock you right out.
But it's fall.
Yeah, October baseball is tremendous. There's nothing like it. It's good.
This is when the magic happens.
Yeah, this is when time to check in. This is when it's time to really, it's go time in baseball.
Fucking legends are made in October, bro.
Big time.
Let's fucking go.
I know.
I'm stoked. I'm stoked for the friggin' playoffs.
I would like to see actually the Yankees at least put some pressure on Boston in this game right now.
Yeah, they got the crowd against them too, so it's kind of rough. They're on the road.
Yeah, they got to get a couple guys on base, man.
It's not over. What inning is it right now?
I think it is the
fourth or the fifth, maybe.
I think it's the fifth inning. 3-0. Yankees got to put a little pressure on this pitcher a little bit right now. On Eovaldi, he's cruising against them right now.
He's throwing some wicked stuff.
He's throwing some wicked move. His sliders moving all around.
Fucking Yankees bats got to wake up, dude.
And it'd be nice if the Yankees could run or do something when they get a guy on base, but they don't do that. And then, you know what it is too? I look at the team right now, and when I look at the fact that Stanton and Judge actually have the best averages on the team, they're supposed to be the power hitters. Stanton's not supposed to be a higher average guy. So when I see that that's not so good. Like that's like
It's like everyone's a power hitter on the team.
Yeah.
They're all swinging for the fences. Yeah. No one's trying to be Donnie Baseball and get on base.
Exactly. Old Steve Sachs. Where's he at? You know what I mean? Where's Willie Randolph trying to get on base, man? I love old school Yankees. We can talk about that.
Yeah, me too. We could talk about that forever.
We talk about our boy though, from when we were kids, Mike Pagliarulo. Pags,
Mike
baby.
Pags.
Hey, you Yankee fans out there, talk about Pags. You ain't a Yankee fan if you don't know who Mike Pagliarulo is, baby. With the scooter, Phil Rizzuto, the Paisans were taking over there in the Yankees. Even Mattingly, whose last name ends in a Y, he was also Paisan. Don Mattingly, Mike Pagliarulo.
Can't forget about my boy Dave Righetti, bro.
Dave Righetti,
love
Rags.
Dave Righetti.
Another Paisan, Rick Cerrone. Rick Cerrone,
Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here. What you talking about?
What you doing,
Yeah, Don Mattingly's Italian too. He's eating pasta with fucking sauce the other night. What are you talking about? Donnie Baseball. Going to the stadium.
Yeah.
What about that time, Ant, when you had the bats? When you went to Yankee Stadium, you had them little bats?
Oh, my God.
That was fun,
I'll tell you guys a little story. 1988, I'm about 8 years old. Myself, my older cousins, and a bunch of kids from the neighborhood decided we were going to go to a Yankee game.
Bat day?
It was bat day.
Yeah.
And they gave you real bats.
Real wood bats.
They didn't give you no little bats that you could hold with your fingers.
Yeah, they could bend and shit.
They were actually Louisville Sluggers. And I remember Wallbound sponsored them. Because the Wallbounds was on the fucking bat. So long story short, we had a great time. Coming home, there's about 9 of us. We all have bats. We're on the D train coming back from the Bronx.
Oh, old school D train.
And these 2 kids just start fucking with one of our friends. And they spit on his leg.
Ooh.
And they were talking shit. They said they were going to throw me and my other friend who was my age. We were the youngest ones there. They said they were going to throw us on the tracks and whatnot. It's just crazy. We ended up hopping off the train at some station. And the older kids, they took the bats and they pretty much broke the window and hit the kids while they were talking shit by the window when we jumped out. It was crazy.
See, that's old school New York, baby. You talk shit. It's Bat Day, Yankee Stadium. What do you think we're going to do with these bats?
Yeah.
We're going to at least scare the shit out of you. We might smash you in the kneecap, too.
Well, the truth is, 2 kids against 9 dudes with bats, they must have had a gun or something on them. Because this is 1988. There's a lot of stick-up kids on the train.
Yeah, a lot of graffiti.
A lot of shit going on in those days.
Yo, it sucks there's no graffiti on the train anymore. Remember the graffiti back in the days on the subway?
Oh, yeah. That was great.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Well, there are kids still bombing the trains. Like, every once in a while, you'll see a train. I see it online sometimes. They'll pull into the station, and it's all just burners all over it.
Yeah.
But they wash them quick.
They do more of the graffiti on the train tracks and like on all
Yeah.
the little houses
Well,
and stuff on the tracks.
In like the early '90s, they started making the trains out of this this metal that paint can't stick to.
Oh, okay. The
So
paint that
you
doesn't
could
stick
tag
there.
on a train, but they could just wipe it off with a fucking Bounty or something.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, it's like that. Actually, I think it was a teacher from Brooklyn Tech who invented it.
Yeah,
Fun fact.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Brooklyn Tech.
It's the land of innovation over here, guy.
Brooklyn, baby.
The fuck?
Brooklyn. You know, and I should really be going with the Brooklyn Dodgers just because they used to play in Brooklyn. You know, but I'm just gonna go with my gut. My gut says the Cardinals. So yeah, I like the Braves. I think the Braves will edge the Brewers. I don't think the Brewers will hit good enough, but who knows? But I just don't think the Brewers will hit good enough to take out the Braves. I think the Braves' offense is very good. They score runs. They hit home runs. They got some hot guys in that lineup. That Austin Riley had a good season. Obviously, one of my all-time favorites, Freddie Freeman. Yankees just turned a double play. That was nice. Freddie Freeman and Ozzie Albies, and they picking up Adam Duvall, and Soler. I like that Braves lineup. I like how they kind of, the Acuna got hurt. Ozuna had the legal troubles. Looked like they were gonna have a bad season, and they just kind of hung in there, picked up a couple guys at the trade deadline, and off to the races. Astros and White Sox. That series is good. Another thing, the White Sox got good pitching. They have Abreu. They're a talented team, the White Sox. I think the Astros. I can't sleep on the White Sox actually in that series. They can cause the Stros some trouble. I just think the Stros have so much playoff experience. They keep bringing up young guys that can hit. It's like they lose. George Springer leaves. They lost Marwin Gonzalez the other year. Springer leaves, and now they come up with Kyle Tucker. You know what I mean? And they come up with Yordan Alvarez. So where there's a will, there's a way with them. They constantly are finding hitters. I just think that that the Altuves and the Correas and the Gurriels, they got too much playoff experience, and I think they also want to prove after that cheating scandal. The whole cheating thing and all that, we can hit. Like we're the Stros. Like we didn't win because we cheated. Like we can hit.
They kind of did though.
You know what though? They kind of still made the ALCS last year after the scandal and after obviously they weren't going to be able to do whatever they were doing anymore. And they still made the ALCS last year. Ran through teams in the playoffs. They still won 90-something games this year. I don't think they're. They got good pedigree guys that can really hit. So I think they're a little focused. I think you're going to see a focused Stros team with something to prove.
Yeah, no, listen.
It wasn't a fluke.
They're going to beat the White Sox. I'll tell you that right now. I don't want them to. I kind of like the White Sox.
Yeah.
I like to wear White Sox.
Yes, me
I
too.
remember being at a really good White Sox Yankee game. We were there.
Oh, yeah.
This was like 1995
Jack
when we
McDowell
were kids.
flipping the bird.
Jack McDowell flipped the bird, and he flipped the bird to those three Irish guys who were sitting in front of us. You remember those
getting
guys?
smashed.
Those guys were whacked.
They were
and they were screaming. That one guy, he looked like Paul O'Neill. I'll never forget it. He was fucking with us because we were like 15. He was like, "You guys don't even have hair on your balls yet.
Yeah, they were
What are you
crazy. They were
doing?"
fucking retarded.
They were fucking whacked. And they were screaming, "Fuck you, Blackjack," at the top of their lungs.
Yeah.
I'm so convinced to this day that he gave the finger to those
He
guys.
probably did. They were belligerent.
That was an
Fucking-
ill game. We met Phil Rizzuto.
Yeah,
Remember that?
yes.
When he was
The
walking,
legend, the
he was
icon.
walking in the tunnel with his daughter.
Yeah, and we walked right by him.
And we're like, the scooter. And he was just like, he gave us the Pope, the one hand Pope wave. Like,
And that was one of those old school double headers where it was one of those, not day night, but one of those like where it started at 4:00.
Yeah.
Kind of left school early and went to like a 4:00 or 7:30 double header.
Yep.
Something like that. So it was like one of those 4:00 games where like not so many people were there, and you know what I'm saying. And
dude, that's a legendary game.
yeah,
In the minds of people like us, but
I know,
nobody
right?
really remembers that. But if they remember Jack McDowell,
and I remember
that's what he's remembered for.
Yeah, and Dave Rigetti, our closer.
Yeah, he was
pitched
pitching for the White Sox. I remember that. I was bugging. I was like, "Is that Dave Rigetti?"
Yeah, right.
And we were in the mezz. It's
Yeah.
kind of hard to see from there. And I was like, "Yo, that looks like Dave Rigetti."
And he was starting.
yeah, and he pitched pretty good.
He pitched good. So yeah, we had fun with the White Sox. So yeah, the White Sox, They did. Hey, guess what? I just thought.
What happened?
When they won their World Series in 2006 or 2005, one of those years, and they're a team that's never really that good mostly. They're mostly losing, but they beat the Astros.
No shit.
And
How long ago was this?
That was 2006. That was when Roger Clemens was on the Astros.
Oh, boy. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, and the White Sox beat the Astros. That's an interesting series. It's got a little something to it.
Also,
narrative.
almost 20 years ago. If you think
Yeah, right. Oh man, we're getting old, bro.
Fuck.
Don't even tell me about it. Whew. So yeah, playoff baseball.
Who do you got winning the chip, bro?
Oh man,
That's what I want to know.
Okay, good question. Oh man, wow.
Of course, this can change.
I mean, yeah, of course.
But from right now, from the picture,
Astros Braves, I'm gonna say is in the World Series. My two teams that I really like and follow. I got to pick between them if they're in the World Series, and I'm gonna go. Wow, it's tough. I'm gonna go Braves.
You're gonna go Braves.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Braves. I'm gonna go Freddie Freeman, World Series MVP.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna go Braves. I'm gonna go. The Braves. They're another team like St. Louis, like I said before, that just always has good minor league talent. I mean, they steady bring guys up to the majors. I mean, it started with the Dave Justice and Ron Gant back in the days, and Chipper Jones, and John Smoltz and Steve Avery and Tom Glavine and those guys, and then through the Chipper Jones era, and now into the Freddie Freeman era with Ozzie Albies and Acuna. They just always have players. But they only won that one World Series. And it was kind of a nondescript World Series they won in 95, I think against the Indians. And they're just known for losing the World Series and losing in the NLCS and losing in the Division Series, just having good teams and just not getting it done in the playoffs. Just so many years of losing in the playoffs as a Braves fan. I think they get it done. If they get to the World Series, they're going to pull it out against the Astros in 7 games.
Let's see.
Even though we love Altuve.
Fuck you, Altuve! Cheater! Fucking cheater, man.
I still love that guy, though.
No, he's a great hitter. He's a little dude, too.
Yeah.
You know?
That dude's like 5'6". I remember, and when he came up, he was on some horrible Astros teams early, like 8-9 years ago. The Astros were horrible, like 50-something wins. And Altuve was a young guy that came up and was good, but the rest of the team stunk. And then every year it seemed like they added another player or two. Then they got Correa. Then they had Gonzalez. Then they had, a couple years after that, Bregman. And then they added Michael Brantley and Free. And it was just they kept adding to the team. And all of a sudden you're like, damn, these Astros. George Springer came up. And it was like, okay, now this team's nice all of a sudden. But Altuve was that first piece that came up, and after that, they just kept adding young players to the core. But he was the guy who kind of turned it around for the Astros from what my vantage point was Altuve. Little 5'6" guy. You watch them play and you think this young guy, this guy is like, okay, he's a nice little player, but he's not going to become Altuve, who he became, hitting 30 homers, 40 doubles, clutch home runs in the playoffs, and all. The guy turned into a monster. This 5'6", 165-pound guy playing second base is a monster, and he swings like a 34. He has like a 33-inch, 34-inch bat, 34-ounce. He actually hits with a big bat. That little guy. He actually has a heavy bat and just. He's old school. He's just I don't know.
He gets under those pitches.
Yeah, and he'll swing the ball high. I remember when you used to play baseball, you were good at hitting higher pitches.
Yeah, because I'm short.
Yeah.
And I would always crouch down in my batting stance.
Yeah, he
so
does
I would get under it.
He reminds me of you playing baseball, because he'll hit that high fastball and just tomahawk it.
Yeah.
Kind of like you used to
Yeah,
do.
that was my style back then.
You had like a tomahawk in that
Back
bitch.
when I had athletic ability, before I started smoking pot and playing guitar.
Yeah, right?
Jeez.
Right?
Good times.
Yeah, right? Both were good times. Playing sports and then the smoking pot and playing the guitar.
Oh, still doing that,
Yeah.
So that's a wonderful thing. God bless.
But yeah, man, baseball playoffs, we're excited. Astros, Braves. But as we go on, we're going to talk about what's going on in the playoffs and how things are matriculating through the playoffs. It's going to be fun. But good one tonight, Ant.
Yeah, man. Good stuff. Very excited for the playoffs. Let's see if the Yankees can pull it out tonight.
Yeah.
It's not looking good for them. I'm not feeling too good about them winning, but you never know with the Yankees.
The Yankees win.
Yankees.
The Yankees win.
Hopefully we'll be hearing that shit in another hour or so.
Right?
But, yeah, good one. We'll come back with a little recap of college football and the NFL from this previous weekend.
Yes. Later in the
we'll
week,
do some predictions for next weekend. Also, we got to get into that Fury Wilder fight.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
The trilogy.
Oh, my God. We're going to
final part.
Break down a Wilder Fury, a couple other good fights, two other really good heavyweight fights on that card. Ajagba and Sanchez, Helenius and Kaunaki. Great card.
My man Kaunaki, that's my dude.
The Polish
assassin. Dude from Greenpoint.
Yeah, so that's going to be great.
Man, I like him. And the other dude, that's the Viking looking guy,
Nordic
right?
Nightmare.
The Nordic Nightmare, yeah.
Robert Helenius.
I like that guy too, honestly.
That's a good fight. It's going to be an interesting fight.
I have a feeling the undercard is going to be way better than the main event.
Yeah, and
but
that's a part 2 of the
I have a feeling Fury's going to get him out of there quick.
You do?
I have a feeling.
You know what? I think he should get him out of there quick. Wilder's always dangerous. I think I'm getting psyched out by Wilder fans keep talking about how Fury's going to get knocked out.
Yeah, but you know what?
All that stuff out.
Wilder has a puncher's chance.
Like always.
That's all he has, though.
Yes, I agree.
Unless he's going to some camp and they're going to just completely transform his style.
Yeah.
But
which they say they've been doing, but I don't know how.
I would love to see a polished Wilder. Because I like Wilder. I do like him, but I love Tyson Fury,
Yeah.
bro.
Tyson Fury's fun.
He's a fucking maniac.
He is. He's a funny
love
kid.
that dude.
He's a character. There's no other Tyson Furies around.
No.
And you like him sometimes. Sometimes he just talks some total bullshit also, but
Didn't he? He went to a press conference dressed as Batman. Yo, I love that dude, yo.
He's a character and a half, though. He definitely is. He's
but we'll
fun.
get into that when we do the preview. But until then, Adam, Godspeed.
Godspeed, my
we'll
brother.
Get back at this very soon.
Love y'all. Stay blessed.
Hit us with some comments. Subscribe.
Don't forget to subscribe, comments, and we will answer in the comment section and talk about
Yeah, if you disagree with any of these predictions, let us know.
Drop your predictions for the playoffs.
Let's start
I want to hear
dialogue.
what y'all got to say. Yeah. Tell us how you really feel. Tell me who you like and who to win the World Series. All right, y'all? But yeah, comments, subscribe, like. Love y'all. Peace.